What's up, guys? It's your man Jay Will. So this is the ZTE Axon. As you can see, I've been using this phone for probably 2 months now or more. This is a pre-release version, so it doesn't have the hard keys at the bottom down here. They're disabled. They're not available for this model that I have. But I have got a lot of videos for this phone, and like I said, I've been using it for about 2 months now. And I'm going to show you how I feel about it and some of the great features of the phone right now. Now again, this is not the version that is for sale in the US. Think of it has US bands and everything on there. It's LTE for the US. I've been pumping it on T-Mobile US LTE, and everything is flawless. Everything works. It just doesn't have the see, it has on-screen buttons. And so this version will not be released in the US at this very time. But here's a full review on it. Well, not a full review, just my first initial after having it for about 2 months or so. So check it out. I've got a lot of videos comparing it to other phones. So stay tuned for them. All right, check this one out for now though. It's pretty lengthy, so you know, hang in there. It's good though, trust me. I'll go into detail. So why is the Axon 7 quickly rising to the top? Let me show you. As you can see, I started off the video with something that ZTE says is one of the best features of this phone, and it's the sound quality. So let me show you what I mean when I say it's actually rising to the top. It's actually probably a phone to be reckoned with for the remainder of 2016 and maybe into 2017, but we shall see. We're not there yet. So let's check this out. I'll see how that sounds on the ZTE Axon 7. The sound is much more full, and that is one of the reasons that ZTE is saying this is such a great phone. And I can't disagree. Now, we all know that the Moto X Pure has fantastic front-facing speakers. Now, was it a long stretch that it beat the Moto X Pure by in front-facing sound? Nah. You probably can't even tell the difference by listening to it over video. However, in person, you will hear a rich, more pure, no pun intended, sound on the Axon 7. The basses seem more real to life. It seems more deep on the Axon 7, and it just comes across as a rich sounding device. No distortion, nothing at the high peaks. And we all know that the Moto X Pure has a fantastic set of front firing speakers. So that is where I wanted to start this video. Now let's get into some of the techie stuff real quick, and then I'll move on to somewhat of a full review. So what does this phone have that a lot of other phones don't have? Well, it has a 64 gigs internal built-in with an SD card. A lot of phones do not have that option. The Moto X Pure does have that option, but the build quality is where these phones differ. And I'm not going to do a comparison of these two in this video. You might see that in another video. But the Axon 7 offers up to 6 gigs of RAM, has a 3140 milliamp hour battery. It has a Snapdragon 820, obviously. You know, it's kind of a powerhouse there. It has some of the latest specs. And it has a 5.5-inch Quad HD display, 1440 by 2560. Now, this phone measures in at 185 grams and it's 8.7 millimeters thick. Now, you really can't tell when you get this in hand. It doesn't feel real heavy, and there's nothing about it that makes me say, oh, I gotta put this down. Yeah, it just feels phenomenal in the hand. And I'm not just saying that because it's a great phone. It really is. What other techie specs can I share with you? One plus side that this phone has, and as you can see, I have a black wallpaper back there. And why do I have a black wallpaper? Obviously, because it is an AMOLED display. The pixel count for this bad boy is 538 for the techies out there. Corning Gorilla Glass 4 It does have a custom overlay, but you have the option to change to the stock overlay. And this is something that I think is really, really nice. Now, it's their custom skin, and I'll show it to you before I go any further. Let's go and change the themes. And you can change it here. And this is their overlay. That's what you get. It doesn't look bad at all. It looks pretty hot. Looks good. It's just bigger icons, it appears, and everything has a white background pretty much. But knowing me, you know I'm gonna leave it on the stock theme. I think the stock theme is where it's at. I really like it, the natural look. I like some of the blue mail icon, the texting icon. However, you do have the option to switch between the two. I think that's really good. The processor in here is clocked at 2.5 gigahertz and then also clocked at 1.6 gigahertz. The fact that it can take up to a 256 gig card, which is pretty nice. Obviously, it's LTE in the US. And let me see, I might need to turn off, I'll turn off Wi-Fi real quick. And I'm also gonna put this in airplane mode so I'm not bothered. You got a quick look at the settings there real quick before I wanted to get into that. But the 20 megapixel camera on the back is gorgeous to say the least. It takes really good photos, and I'll take a photo right now. As you can see, the fingerprint reader is pretty good. And this is the camera layout here. While I'm here, I'll show you the camera layout. As you can see here, I have it set to 20 megapixels. You can do 15, 12, 9, 5, and 2. That is just freaking awesome. I try not to use that word, but it is awesome. I can't say that it's not. You can get a kind of look at how the settings are here. So let me just snap a quick photo. Well, let me go through. Here's manual mode, because it does have, okay, got it. It does have manual mode, and you can see, wow, this is just ridiculous, man. Everything you could possibly want in the settings for manual mode is here. Let's switch back. Got a video. You can see the video quality here. You can go 1080p at 60 frames per second for those that were wondering, which is my favorite. You can go 4K with 30 frames per second at H.264 or 265. I don't know many videos that are able to do that. Or many phones that are able to do that, but the fact that this one can is pretty good. So let me give you a quick video. This is a video sample with the ZTE Axon 7. Beautiful amongst all the kings here. Samsung, Motorola, LG. Now, I'm gonna play that back real quick. This is gonna be a little bit more detailed, not my normal review, but video player. This is a video sample with the ZTE Axon 7. As you can see, you can zoom in. Beautiful amongst all the kings here. Samsung, Motorola, LG. Sweet, right? Now let's get back over to a photo. Beautiful photo. I got the lock screen. I got it turned off. Let me set it. Turn on auto rotate. Auto rotate actually drains battery, guys. I don't know if you knew that. But there it is. Beautiful. Camera has not let me down. So I gave you a little bit of the camera up front. I don't normally do that in videos, but I wanted to this time because I wanted to touch on these things and go along at the same time. I try not to make a long video, but hey, when it's good, it's good. The front camera on here is actually an 8 megapixel camera, and it shoots really good as well. Obviously, we have the main selling point. These dual front firing speakers are amazing. And I just can't tell you enough. The Dolby Sound on here, you can actually turn it off. As you can see right there, you can turn off the Dolby Sound, but when you do that, you'll hear the difference. Let me see here. Anything else? Obviously, it's got LTE for the US, like I said before. USB Type-C, reverse charging, and it also it's fast charging too. 83% in 30 minutes. Quick Charge 3.0. That is great. And it charges really fast too, guys. Comes in 3 colors, ion gold, which is what you see here, and the quartz, or 2 colors, I'm sorry, ion gold and the quartz gray. What can I say about the performance on here? It's been good. I'll let you look at the processor and everything. There it is, Snapdragon 820, got the 2.15. Everything is just gorgeous about this phone. But check out the sensors. Look at all the glorious sensors you get. That is just amazing. Nonetheless, the power plant, or the main selling point of this phone, is obviously the front-firing speakers. But let's not forget about the Quad HD display. This is 4 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs internal storage, and it is running Android 6.0, obviously. Here's a look at the settings menu. The menu on here, now I'm not gonna just give this phone a 100% thumbs up, but, you know, the menu on here, this one that I'm using, is not confusing. It's just a lot going on. But you switch over here to the regular all settings, and then you get more of a traditional setup here. You've got your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, your dual SIM settings. And if I didn't mention, it is a dual SIM, and it does take an SD card slot. You've got some themes and wallpapers. My Pop, let me show you what this says this is. There you go. Not a feature that I use, but it is there. Obviously, fingerprints. Voice print is pretty sweet. I thought about setting this up, and maybe I'll demo it. I don't know, but sometimes these things aren't really something that, it's not something that I take as a feature that I'll use. It falls more into the gimmicky side because I'm so used to using a fingerprint reader. If it has a fingerprint reader, if it doesn't have a fingerprint reader, I'll just use a code. You know, I'm used to it. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean that this phone won't have some of these features, and they're much appreciated. But you can see there, you can record a sound as your screen lock password, and others can unlock your phone even if they say the words. So, you know, people can't say the words because it's going to be trained by your voice. So I'll demo it right now. Jay Williams, play music. Stop music. So being able to control this phone with your voice is really, really nice. The voice activated unlock is a cool feature. As you can see, I demoed playing music, stopping music. There's a whole bunch of other commands that you could possibly do. But I just wanted to demo that feature. You can unlock this phone with your voice. You just hit the power button is off, you slide up, and then you'll get the prompt there for your command. So I think that's a beautiful thing. All right, back to the video. You've got gesture motions. Let me show you here. Double tap. I thought I had that turned. That's why it wasn't working. Man, I thought I had that turned on. I guess I didn't. You can do 3-finger pinch for a screenshot. I don't know that I would do that. You can do auto call, auto answer, flip to mute. This is what you do. You just pick it up to your head. And here's how you do this. You can answer the call. Flip to mute, I always have that on. Flip to stop, snooze. Change to receiver. That's pretty cool. But gestures, I'm not gonna lie, you know, it has the also famous shake for the flashlight. I just swipe down and turn it on. I'm just not gonna lie. Some gestures are something that I've never really used in a phone except for double tap to wake. That is the only one that I've actually used, and I use it daily. This is what the indicator light is. It says a breathing light, but this is what it is. Low battery indicator, new event. It's just a pulsating light that comes on up top. And right now it's just a red light, or I'm sure there's an application I can find to see if it actually has more colors into the phone. So you've got your holster mode, and I've got my font set to large because my eyes aren't the best. But that is the display and sound here. Let's go. You can see how I have the ringer. That is a loud. The speakers on here are just amazing, to say the least. You've got your do not disturb your ringtones. The ringtones on here, they're okay. I like a standard ringtone. I like just a basic. There's one on here. I like that one. So ringtones, yeah, they're super loud. Also, something that this phone has, as you can see, it has the Dolby Sound, but it has headphone hi-fi, and a lot of phones now. Well, this phone right here actually is the top of the line for plugging in a headphone. I'm not going to front, it is. However, this phone isn't far behind. It's not exactly up to this point yet. But it's better than every other phone on the table when you plug in. You got notifications. Power management is something that I wanted to show you. As you can see here, you have ultra power saving mode. All phones now have ultra power saving mode. It's pretty amazing. Battery usage. Now the battery usage on here is a little different. Here's what you get. You don't get much. You can see the doze feature here is in full effect. I mean, serious doze. It tapers off. And it's not like this phone right here where it's a flat line, but still, it's there. It's there. But yeah, let me turn this on. Thought I had that on. But the battery usage here, it's not like the other phones. You can't really do anything with it. You can turn on the power saving modes, and that's about it. I can't really get in to see what's going on there. However, same thing set up as like stock Android, all your applications and everything. This kind of reminds me of Huawei with the default applications, but it's just in a different place. Storage here, you can see I have the 64 gig variant. 17 gigs of that is used. It takes a long time to calculate. I actually timed it one time. It's kind of a hit and miss, so I want to jump in here. Now, it happened pretty fast this time. So as you can see, 12, almost 13 gigs is used for the system. And I only have about 4 gigs in apps. So system files are getting huge, but it does have an SD card slot, and I can put that in there if I need to. Memory, as you can see here, performance is excellent. It says it's a 4 gig variant, 50% is used. And pretty much it's just, I don't want to go through all these specs, but these things, but pretty much, man, I haven't had any problems with this. No complaints, no crashes, no nothing. Performance is really good. I really just wanted to show you the phone in this video because I know that a lot of you are going to want to buy this phone. And I'm going to encourage you to do so. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this phone is a phone that needs to be reckoned with. It needs to be heard. It needs to be seen, especially heard. Because this is an experience that you'll have to get in person. It's just one of those things where I can tell you how good it is, but until you get it in person, you're never going to know what I'm talking about. Really, really, really rich sound. Everything about it is just really nice. Applications with the 4 gigs of RAM, everything opens up really fast. Oh, I forgot I had on Wi-Fi off or internet off. But yeah, all the applications open really fast. It's just a good phone, and at the price point that it's at, it definitely rivals other flagships, and it's actually a better buy than a lot of the other flagships. But I can't tell you how good it is. You're gonna have to get it in hand. So the front here is front firing speaker with an 8 megapixel bottom firing speaker. Along this side here, you've got a power button that is not ridged and it's flat, and the volume rocker is flat, which I don't like because I'm used to a ridged power button on this phone and this phone, you know, I don't know. On the top here, you got your headphone jack and a noise cancellation microphone. Then you've got your USB Type-C with Quick Charge 3.0 and a microphone down there. And on the back, the famous setup, 20 megapixel camera and an LED flash and the fast fingerprint reader it is. Sometimes I have problems with the fingerprint reader, or it doesn't read. Like it doesn't want to read my left hand, but it could be the way I have it set up. So when I put, yeah, it might be just the way I have it set up. I need to set up my left hand again, because when I have my left hand on there, it takes a couple of reads and I have to position my finger. So that just means I need to set it up again. Nonetheless, this is your man Jay Will. This is a run through of the ZTE Axon 7, a powerhouse device at a good price and highly recommended by me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for more videos on this phone. Did I say peace?